Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Week 3 side quest options. Check out the link in the description. We're going to break down some of the fights, including Lady Deathstrike. I can't speak properly. Lady Deathstrike. And as well, the Maze week 3. So, and also we're going to talk a little bit about compensation week and kind of like stuff with that. I think I'll start off with that. So some of you know, some of you don't know that you should have some additional keys. If you've done the battling, you'll know that you'll have extra keys, and you're probably wondering like, when do I spend these? I would say the last week, week 2, is probably not the best one because Kindred was a really annoying boss for people. But also, as I've said in previous weeks, like you want to target a week where there's good enough rewards. So again, to kind of explain it, keys unlock go into Maze. Which week do you want to choose to go and do a Maze week? You will have all the keys facilitated for one particular difficulty, which will probably be where you think you're at the moment. For me, it'll be level 5. My compensation keys will go into threat level 4 for whatever I choose, whenever I choose it. You can see I've got additional keys right there, and I've already done this week. So I've got the decision to complete one threat level lower, but and that's fine because all the rewards are normally the same in the mazes. It's all about the vaults, baby. So I then have to make a decision. Which vault do I want to go into? The Rook's Vault, the Knight's Vault, the Queen's Vault, or the Final Vault, whatever that's going to be named as. So different weeks have different rewards. Again, if I was to go down a different threat level to do that, threat level 4 because I've done threat level 5, then I'd probably go, okay, well, what 4 rewards do I want? Do I want bonus Mysterium, possibly? Do I want tier 2 alpha class alloy? Do I want 6-star shards from here? Do I wait for week 4, which has 3,500 6-star shards? Do I just go in and grab that? Do I make a different kind of beeline to actually kind of spread lower difficulties and go, right, well, I'll get one from one difficulty or one from a different difficulty? Like, okay, well, I'll go and grab 3,500 6-star shards from doing week 4. I'll do week 3's one and spread it that way. So you've got to make a decision about like how you want to spread it. Do you want to spread it in to get 6-star shards by going into vaults of lower ones? It's up to you, right? In any case, that's that. Let's get into the full kind of like minutiae of the video because I do want to like break some stuff down. So we got the Vulture / Shocker maze. So let's kind of preview some stuff and also look at some options. So I haven't 100%ed this. Starting at the top, we have got the Symbiote Supreme path. Symbiote Supreme path will see buffet over time, Indomitable and Breakthrough. To be honest, it's going to be, I always say this, it's down to you what options you have, what you think is going to be good. I personally go with no buff champions or buff immune champions, like some of the following, like Titania, Spider-Man 2099, Spot, Red Guardian, list goes on. I don't know if, yeah, you can have, because you can have Mystics. Kindred actually is back on the menu, boys, with that one. I need to put Kindred back on there because he can indeed access it. There's always the thing that I forgot was mutants weren't able to kind of go back on it. So yeah, by the time this goes out, you'll see updates to the spreadsheet. So yeah, I just feel like I don't want to trigger off any kind of buffs. So let's not trigger buffet over time. So you can have Breakthrough, so you could have some champions that interact with that, but I would say personally, no buff champions. If you use any champions, in honesty, that it's no concern. It's not as bad with some of these paths. I mean, what I'm providing you is options, but a lot of the time, just using any champion works. Your strongest champion might even apply to work for this as well. And I'm going to be throwing footage over the top of this, recorded from doing my 100%ing of this, and as well the Vault and some other options. So path number 2 is the Spider-Man 2099 path, has Energy, Convert, Warpath, and pretty basic. Again, another one where it's like, I think any champ really works here, and it's kind of like, just choose. Like, you can play into it. As I've said, like the motion of this is to do something like, what? Do a heavy, attack charging, heavy attack charging, said that weird. You get Fury passive, Purify debuffs, the enemy purifies debuffs, Fury passive on the defender, intercept, enemy gets degen. Again, another thing that's like, you can choose to rotate around this the way you want to, but it's one of these kind of like use any champions type situations. Anyone you think is a good counter. Skill-based champions, no one evades, no one causes you any kind of great problem. So yeah, I'll go that way, that route with it. Okay, moving on down the path to the Sabertooth path. This one is Standing Power, Piercing Pursuit. Don't get hit in the block. That's just really it. Yeah, intercept if you can, if you want. But to be honest, again, nothing really to worry about. I would say it's up to you if you want to bring a heal block type champion. Maybe a champion that's going to be bleed immune, but again, there's nothing really to worry about here. It's a very straightforward path with it. I'm actually remembering as I'm doing this to kind of remove certain champions. And we're like, yes, and if you don't know already, you can't use techs and you can't use mutants. I'm pretty certain of that actually. Sort by techs. Yeah, you can't use techs. You can't use techs or mutants in this one. So but there's plenty of champions and champion counters elsewhere for it. But you can use Cosmic and Skill. Maybe using the Hulkling and Valkyrie possibly. Again, it's going to be down to you who you feel is going to be beneficial for that. Final path, Hela. Any mystic will do. You have to worry because, not worry, but you have to be concerned just in case for triggering off Critical Eye. Whenever the attacker crits on the defender gains unblockable charge, making their next attack unblockable, blah blah blah. Unblockable charge is consumed whenever the defender attacks, regardless of whether the attack hits. Intercepting the defender removes all active unblockable charges. Try to intercept as much as you can, but to be honest, again, it's nothing really to worry about. Yeah, there's nothing really to worry about with it. Any champion works. Wiccan could be fun. I put Falcon, but that was kind of like just being a bit rude to go, try critting, get the unblockable, do intercept. Nah, any champion really works. It's a very straightforward fight. It's just a case of watching out for the unblockable, intercepting wherever you can. Maybe Unstoppable, Champions Unstoppable could help, but to be honest, again, another easy path. And we move on to the final one, which is the boss. Now, the boss has... for this, it's either going to be Shocker or it's going to be Vulture, and for this, it's Power Armor, Bare Necessity, and Fight or Flight. If I'm being honest, Auto Block is probably the only thing that's a bit of a concern, and even then, if you can suppress it well enough, it's not a concern. Fight or Flight, just keep your distance, otherwise the enemy gets unstoppable. So yeah, any Cosmic or a champion that is one of the auto block counters, the slow debuff champions to counter the unstoppable. But again, between Falcon, Nick Fury, Hercules, and Odin and Mole Man, they counter auto block. So just pick what thing you might be more frustrated about. But yeah. This isn't too difficult this week. I'm not saying the previous ones have been. I'm not a big fan of facing off against Man-Gog and Man-Thing last week, so I think that week 3 is kind of a breath of fresh air and could be the one that you use your compensation on. Let's move on to the final boss, which is Lady Deathstrike. Now, what I'm going to do is throw up a load of footage all at once. It's probably going to be in over this segment, maybe a few others as well. Footage of the fight going off. There's some stuff that you need to be very wary of, and it will require you to go, okay, if I go in, I might reset if things go wrong, because hey, things go wrong. So in this particular fight, you've got heavy bias, so the champion will throw heavy attacks. The AI is not particularly good in this fight. The distance it launches, so if you've kind of like you're in a block and you're a little bit further away, even not in a block, the champion throws a heavy attack, you're going to get rooted. That's part of Cold Feet. So it's a swipe, trying to avoid the what are they called? Nails. The nails, claws, whatever they are, that are going to hurt you. So do be careful of that when you're rooted. Swipe. But also, destructive feedback. Destructive feedback, put a load of damage into the champion. while she's got the yellow shield on. Wait until that expires, and then she'll take a chunk of damage. Now, watch out if you get hit, because if you do get hit, you're going to take a lot of damage. Also, when a defender reaches 15% health, they gain indefinite 200% Fury passive and indestructible passive for 12 seconds. I would say, again, at this point, champions that keep stuns will be very effective. This is why Hulk was very effective, and I'd say bank your striker when you've got it close to that point. It will keep it stunned. If you keep Lady Deathstrike stunned, you'll be able to keep up a repetitive amount of damage, or better with the obviously the destructive feedback. But the other bonus from this is, as soon as you stun the enemy, then just drop back, and just wait for the indestructible to go off. This is why Hulk was a fantastic option, because it has lots. He has lots of stuns, and it's able to suppress, which you're going to see in the footage, or have seen in the footage. Human Torch worked. A plethora of other champions worked to kind of like do this particular fight. Choose your best one. But as I said, stun champions, or champions that do stun as part of their kit, can be incredibly effective. The rotation, would it work for Magneto? I tried it. I didn't like it. Doesn't mean to say it doesn't work. It's just a case of like, you won't rotate the same way that you normally do. You'd have to do it a different way. But any champion works. Juggernaut, you could heal block with a Mega Sentinel. Look, pick who you think is going to be best for this, and you probably have a lot of fun doing it. And that's been a video. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure as well, oh, by the way, who did you use? Put it in the comment section down below. Check out some other content. Check out the guide, because I've written a guide. Also put boosts on, because that's important. And also check out the description, where there's a little write-up. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.